What's good, people? Before I even start anything, I have to say this. This is going to be a giant spoiler. So if you have not seen the Black Panther movie, please just, put this in your watch later playlist and come back and I will see you guys then. I personally am not a fan of superhero films, of comic books or any of that kind of stuff, but this film is my favourite. I also love Luke Cage and also Black Lightning. I guess it's just because they're black orientated and I'm kind of biased, but yeah, those are my kind of superhero stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to talk to you guys about why Killmonger is our favourite villain. I watched the film twice. The second time I watched it was today, and the film is basically, to me, a battle between the Black Panther Party and the Black Panther superhero. So to me, Erik Killmonger represents the Black Panther Party, the kind of Malcolm X's of the community, And then the Black Panther, aka T'Challa, is kind of like the Martin Luther Kings of the revolution, The people that aren't really all for violence, but are for their people still, and don't want to go out and kill people unnecessarily, but still have the same purpose, like the more softer kind of people. I think they're both absolutely necessary, but obviously in the film he was the villain. Now the first time I watched it, I wasn't completely satisfied. I cannot lie. I watched it like, I expected more. I wanted to know more about these characters. I wanted to feel more connected to a lot more of these characters, but I didn't. And maybe it's because it's a superhero film, maybe because there is going to be more than one possibly, but at the same time I feel like I should have been more satisfied by the end. I've spoken to people and they all have their own different reasons as to why they didn't feel completely satisfied, but nonetheless we all have seen it more than once. Well, a lot of people that I know want to see it more than once, and it is a very, very successful film. Now after watching the film for a second time, I realised that it is basically Erik Killmonger's story. In the beginning it opens with a voiceover of a young boy, a Wakandan boy, you can hear it through his accent, talking to his father, and he says, "Baba, tell me a story." And the dad's like, "A story of what?" And then he says, "A story of home." And then that's where you start to see the whole history behind the Wakandans and the different things that happen, the different tribes, the story behind Wakanda and all the vibranium and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't until I watched it again for the second time that I realised that it was actually Killmonger's voice that was talking to his dad, who was talking to Prince Njobu. The fact that they used his voice and him as the start of it kind of tells me that he is more important than I thought he was the first time. His story is a lot more important to the Black Panther story, and I believe he will be coming back. I don't think he's dead. I truly believe that he's going to come back because he was such a vital character. After that story, we then cut to a black screen where it says Oakland 1992. We see the kids playing basketball outside, and then it cuts to like inside an apartment where we see a TV screen, and on that screen they're watching the news, and on the news you see police officers. Now if you know about Oakland or California in 1992, you will know that that's when the LA riots happened. The LA riots started off when police officers were caught on videotape beating up Rodney King. This was in 1992, the same time that this part of the film is based. Both the riots and the opening scene were set in California. This kind of gives us an idea of what the war dogs were facing at that time and what Erik was brought up around. If you're familiar with the hood films of the 90s, you will know that a lot of them are based in California, as California was one of those states that a lot of African Americans migrated to during what is known as the Second Great Migration, or the New Great Migration. This was between 1940 and 1970, when a lot of African Americans were traveling from the south up to the west. Like the first Great Migration, it was more so from the south to the north, but now a lot of places are going on to the west coast. I don't know why. Is west on this side? To me, west is on this side. Oakland is extremely important when it comes to the film, not only because it's where director Ryan Coogler was born and raised, but also because it's where the Black Panther Party was formed. It is where Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale met each other, and that's where the actual first headquarters of the Black Panther Party were based. This is a time where black communities saw the Black Panther Party for self-defense actually walking the streets with guns and trying to defend their people against the police brutality, against the police. This is the kind of history that Killmonger was immersed in. We can only imagine that he witnessed drive-by shootings, the crack epidemic, riots, police brutality. He saw it all. He grew up angry. And yet he would grow up hopeful because of all the stories that his father would tell him about this amazing, beautiful, rich, technically advanced, equipped with the most powerful weapons country that he was from, and that one day he would return to. He grew up with the heart of a Black Panther, the heart of the Black Panther Party, but with the hope that the Black Panther would come and rescue them. Then he finds out that his father is murdered. Not only is he murdered, but he's murdered by the person that he supposedly, I guess, he thought would come and rescue them and come and take them back to this country that he only dreamed about. Of course he's angry. Not only did he grow up hating his oppressors, but now he's hating the people that betrayed him, his own people. We like him because we understand his story. He's intelligent, he speaks sense, and he's aesthetically pleasing. Like many of us, he is a misfit here and a misfit there. I'm too African to be British, yet I'm too British to be African. We get it. Us in the diaspora know exactly how Killmonger feels. We connect to him. Erik Killmonger is a lot of us. Yeah, he's a bit radical at times, but it's what's needed. That's why he's my favourite villain. And that's why I don't believe he's truly dead. I feel like a lot of villains have this kind of inhumane feature about them. Like they don't care about humanity, they don't have any kind of emotion, they don't have a real backstory that we can connect to. So when we find out about his story, why he does what he does, we can only feel sorry for him and hate him at the same time when he does stupidness. But you know, it's understandable. I want to know, why do you love Killmonger? And I want to end this video with my favourite Killmonger quote. Just bury me in the ocean with my aunt's sisters that jumped from the ships, because they knew that death was better than bondage.